Ali Rasmus in the studio now to explain how this is part of President Trump's tariff policy. And Ali, it's happening as small business owners are pleading with the president for some relief.
Good morning, Dave. Yeah, midnight this morning, a shipping tax loophole that had long been used to keep goods from companies like Temu and Shein duty-free was eliminated. It's called the de minimis exemption. That loophole had allowed companies shipping goods worth less than $800 to export them into the country without any tariffs. But now that loophole is gone, and the baseline tariff on goods from China is 145%. That means many of those previously low-cost goods, think fast fashion, toys, other knickknacks, are going to become more expensive. More than 80% of U.S. e-commerce shipments in 2022 were these types of low-cost, low-price products. It amounted to an estimated 1.3 billion packages shipped in the U.S. every year.
Is that if something cost less than $800, that there wasn't going to be a tax or a tariff on it for it being shipped in. Now, President Trump has gotten rid of that exemption, so that means that those items are also going to be taxed.
Now, the change comes just as the head of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce sent a letter to the Trump administration asking it to consider creating a tariff exclusion process for small businesses. The letter calls on the administration to, quote, take immediate action to save America's small business and stave off a recession. The Chamber's CEO asks for an automatic exclusion from new tariffs for any small business importer. The letter also calls for exclusions for all products that can't be produced in the U.S. or aren't readily available from a domestic source, like coffee, bananas, cocoa, and certain minerals. The letter from the Chamber of Commerce points out that there are about 40 million U.S. jobs, many of them from small business, that rely on trade.
When you have tariffs on things that we don't even grow here, like bananas and coffee, or when you have tariffs on businesses that lead to layoffs, they need immediate relief, or they need an exemption process that lets them figure out time to plan a supply chain, to have certainty.
Now to some overnight developments on this topic. Right now you can see the Dow is up 440 points. That boost may be due in part to the fact that overnight China announced it was open to the possibility of starting trade negotiations with the U.S. But it may be easier said than done. China is demanding that in order to reopen those trade talks, the Trump administration needs to immediately drop its 145% tariffs. Back to you.
Ali Rasmus, thank you.